Welcome back to Game Closet for part 3 of Must Have Games for your Atari 2600 Plus. I am your host, Dr. Scott, and I am so delighted you're here for this series on essential games for your Atari 2600 and 7800, but more on that later. If you missed parts 1 or 2, there will be a playlist at the end of this video so you can watch all things Atari there, and there will be links to parts 1 and 2 in the description of this video. So you have an Atari 2600 or a 7800, or you just pre-ordered the 2600 Plus, but you'd like to know what are some of the more fun games to play. Well, you've come to the right place. These are not the shovelware titles like Bugs or Fun with Numbers or Snake or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. These are the games that are fun. They've lasted the test of time, and even though some may have ports for more capable consoles, the fun in these carts is baked right in on the 2600. So before we jump right in, part 4 is coming up soon, and I have plenty of modern and retro gaming fun coming up for you here inside the Game Closet. So do me a favor, make sure that you're subscribed. Hit that like button down there so YouTube will recommend this video to more great people such as yourself. And feel free to share any Game Closet videos on Facebook, Instagram, or your favorite social media platform. Hey, I got a great idea. Let's play some Atari. Subscribe style. Activision's Pitfall 2 is arguably one of the top games to play on the 2600. It stretched the limits of graphics and sound and implemented a specialized sound chip just for this game. But that is the reason it won't work on the emulation console Retron 77. Let's check the Atari 2600 Plus compatibility list. Untested? Atari didn't test it. Well, since Pitfall 2 may be a questionable title, and it may not work on Atari's new 2600 Plus, I'm going to recommend a game that was tested, Beam Rider. Activision's Beam Rider is arguably one of the top games to play on the 2600, and it will work on the 2600 Plus, but the similar homebrew, Juno First, may not. In Beam Rider, your ship flies high above the Earth around a restrictor shield, shooting at enemies attempting to destroy you and annihilate the planet. Now, as shooters go, like Space Invaders and Galaxian, Beam Rider is much more fast-paced, and that's why people love this game. A real must-have for your Atari collection. Did you ever wonder what happened to the people of Atlantis? Well, they fought to keep their last existing cities safe from the Gorgons in the Imagic video game for the 2600. You control 3 gun bases that fire at the invading Gorgons. Once your bases are destroyed, the game is over. Think Missile Command meets Air-Sea Battle, but much prettier. Ultimately, the cities are destroyed and the remaining survivors escape at the end. And that's where Cosmic Arc comes into play. Wizard of War for the 2600 is an arcade port that, frankly, I am really surprised even exists. When you look at Atari Pac-Man, then this game, you wonder how Atari messed Pac-Man up so badly. Your warrior wanders around the maze hunting various monsters. It's far simpler than the arcade version, but if you dig the original 2600 version, there was an Atari homebrew that was even better, and the Commodore 64 version is just stunning. Monster hunting on the Atari 2600. Who would have thought? The arcade originals of Centipede and Millipede are pillars of the quarter-plunking 1980s. When it was ported to home consoles, they did an admirable job representing Archer and the villainous Millipede and his other creepy-crawly foes in the Mushroom Garden. The major difference is the horizontal screen versus the vertical or portrait screen. With the 2600 port, of course, the finer graphical details are traded for the typical Atari sprites, but the gameplay is mostly the same. Standing side by side, you can tell they are cousins that play the same game, and that's what matters.
Hey Yar, I thought I told you not to come back in here. You want some Yar's revenge, huh? So what are you gonna do about it, butthead? Huh? You think you could beat me by nibbling through my shield and blow me up with your Zorlon cannon? Huh? I have my weapons too, pal. I have a smart missile that's gonna follow you around and keep you moving, or eventually hit you with my fiery swirl. Keep trying, Yar, cause I'm not gonna stop, butthead. Say hi to your ma for me.
Activision presents Mega Mania, a new video game for your Atari video computer system. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Back in the day, my best friend Greg and I saw the commercial for Mega Mania on TV, and we lost it.
Mega Mania,
It was the best marketing in the world to capture the imaginations of two 10-year-old kids and make them want to buy this crazy Activision shooter. Your Enterprise-like ship blasts away at falling enemies of various shapes, and each wave moves in unique trajectories to keep you hopping. This is no Space Invaders, and it's no Galaga either. In my opinion, it's far more difficult, and our friend Gary Carnucci, co-founder of Korg's Gaming Expo in Columbus, well, this is his favorite game of all time. Hey, he's got good taste. Oh, on a side note, when the commercial was finished,
For Activision.
well, Greg and I were blown away, but my dad was standing there, and he was from the old school. He looked at us both and said, "Looks like a bunch of hippie shit." Then he left the room. What do you say to that?
Mega Mania is a video nightmare because it's impossible to stop.
As a kid, I loved Haunted House. Today, I have great nostalgia for the original game, but since Atari built in variants on the cartridge, they made the simpler first variant seem like a baby toy. You roam through this haunted mansion with 24 rooms searching for 3 pieces of the urn belonging to the house's ghost, Zachary Graves. The ghost is accompanied by a bat and a tarantula to thwart you from getting the completed urn and exiting the front door. As an adult, you should try the variants where all the rooms are dark, there are more enemies, creatures move the urn pieces randomly, and some doors are permanently locked. It can be a real challenge, and that's all courtesy of a game made in 1982. Imagix Games rivaled Activision in creativity. Like Activision, a few of Atari's designers left the company to begin a new one so they could have some creative control. That all said, Laser Gates is a side-scrolling shooter where you guide your ship through a cavernous, cryptic computer that has electrified gates and other enemies in order to destroy the 4 failsafes and stop the computer from self-destructing. Although it has mixed reviews, it's faster paced than the Atari 2600 version of Vanguard and is challenging enough to keep you coming back for more and more. This arcade port of Taito's arcade game has simpler gameplay, but don't let it fool you into thinking simple can't mean challenging or frustrating. You play as a safari adventurer swinging through the jungle, swimming crocodile-filled rivers, armed with a knife, and it's not easy to kill those buggers either, let me tell you. Plus, you dodge smaller and larger boulders, then jump over evil cannibals in order to save your beautiful lady companion. My local Hills department store back in the day used to have this out in the vestibule, and let me tell you, I plunked down tons of quarters on this game, and I was happy to bring it home on the Atari 2600. We go back to Activision stables again to play River Raid, a vertical shooter where you fly your jet behind enemy lines, destroying all the enemy bridges, boats, planes, and helicopters you can possibly find while refueling your jet along the way. Speed up or slow down to shoot the enemy and watch you don't accidentally dive bomb into them. It's a fun Atari 2600 game that's easy to see where Truxton got its sea legs.
Truxton.
Yes, Mark, Truxton rules, but so does River Raid. There are more Atari Essential games coming up in Part 4 very soon, so do me a favor and make sure that you're subscribed to Game Closet. Hit the like button down there. Plus, visit Game Closet's Patreon page for exclusive videos, including an exclusive Atari 2600 Plus Essential Games Part 5 coming soon for Patreon members only. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you very, very soon. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please hit the like button because it helps the YouTube algorithm spread the video to more awesome people just like you. Subscribe for more here in Dr. Scott's Game Closet, and there's plenty more where this one came from, so click on a video for more video game shenanigans. We'll see you all very, very soon.